How's it going, YouTube? Today I got a new brand for the channel. This is a Remette. It's a China knife, of course. It used to go by QYGMGS, I think. And glad they changed their name because that was confusing. I was calling them the Alphabet Company. But it comes with a zipper pouch. They didn't seem to get it nice and even though. Don't really matter. Never going to use this. Comes with a microfiber cloth and a little Torx thing. Which is nice because everybody loves to take the knives apart. And this is the Rhino, or the RH0319. It's $55 on Amazon. That's the only place you can get these. I believe now they got a 20% discount code, which is unfortunate because they didn't have it when I bought it, but it's what it is. Yeah, it's a good looking knife too, especially for a new company just starting out. They've only produced a few knives. I think this is the best looking one so far. They've done some titanium stuff and some budget stuff, and LTK's did a Rockwell on the blades, and they've been pretty good. So yeah, let's get into it. It's got a 3.15 inch 14C28M blade. Looks like it's bead blasted or sandblasted. And it's a drop point. Very interesting looking drop point. Love the cutout. Got a 2.8 millimeter blade stock or 0.11 inches. And it's got an overall length of 7.32 inches. Let's do some size comparisons. I got out quite a few knives here, so this will take a minute. Boker Plus. What's the name of this knife? Boker Plus. Little Friend. Boss-Steed Raccoon. It's about the same size as the Boker, close to it, a little bit smaller than the Raccoon. A couple Kaisers here, the Cormorant, more premium knife, and the Hiccup. Pretty close to the same size as the Hiccup and just a little bit bigger than the Cormorant. Last two. QB RDF and the Pyrite, CJRB Pyrite. Pretty close to the same length as both of these. Maybe a little wider. Got a 4.3 inch handle, 0.52 inches wide, and 1.3 inches from here to here in your pocket. You do have some T6 screws, but they look like some nice screws. Machined. Pivots T8, pocket clips T6s. And it is inset with flat screws, but non-reversible. Knife weighs 3.65 ounces, so fairly lightweight. Got a little bit of cutout on the inside. You got this decent brown micarta. I wouldn't say it's as nice as Kaiser, but it's right there with some sync up models. I'd say it definitely has some texture, at least on one side. A little bit smoother on the back. But yeah, I like micarta. Also comes with a green, same kind of blade, and a black on black. A lot of people might like that. I don't think a black blade with stainless steel is that necessary. And as you can see, this is a button lock, but it's different than most button locks. Watch. Can't open it up with the button. The button is just for closing. It does have a nice detent. You have multiple deployment options. You have a minimal flipper, a front flipper, but it's pretty much just for your thumb. It's a little hard to go over the top. You have these dual thumb studs. You can reverse flick it from the hole if you prefer, or the studs. And this pivot collar is a nice little touch, and it says on the Amazon that's titanium, so I guess it is. Pocket clip, I'm pretty sure steel though, for the price. I do have a couple negatives on this knife, but we'll get to that at the end. Have a lanyard pin, love to see that instead of a hole, and a backspacer. Always love a backspacer. You have a nice sharpening tool too, decent sharpening tool. You can lay the edge back at least one good time before you hit that. Yeah, you got a little bit of jimping up here. That's fairly comfortable. I don't say you feel the pocket clip too much. It's not the biggest knife. I'd say it's a EDC size, but if you got big old bare hands, then it's going to be a little bit small for you. The liners stick out a little bit. They're a little bit proud. I'd rather them be inset, but that's just me. You have a couple different stop pins in there, and they did this different than most button locks, which is nice to see. Innovative. And the blade doesn't look very thin, but it's fairly thin behind the edge too. Doesn't look very slicey, but came pretty sharp too, even though it's got a very high edge angle. It cuts. I haven't best tested it yet though. Alright, let's get into my dislikes. For one, I don't like the billboarding, but that's the only writing besides the steel, which is kind of hidden. It's right there, 14C. You can't see it when it's open. The T6s, of course, I don't like, and I don't like the bead blasted / sand blasted finish. Whether it be stone washed or even satin, would be better. Mine didn't come centered, but I can fix that. I haven't took it apart yet though. And really the only dislike that matters is the button itself. When you have it closed, it's fairly recessed. It's not quite level, but it's close. But when you have it open, it does stick up quite a bit. So you're going to be careful when you're holding it. It's not really in the path if you've got your hands like this. I guess if you were holding it awkwardly, or maybe if you're left-handed holding it, you could hit the button. And since you can't open it with the button, they should have made the button smaller to where you can't even get to it when it's closed. So it would be shorter when it's open, if that makes sense. I didn't say it right, but yeah. Other than that, I can get past the button thing because this isn't a hard use knife. It's mostly a fidget knife you're going to open Amazon packages with, and yeah, you're not going to be cutting down any trees with it, so it's alright. I do like that they tried something new with their own design, and they did a button lock, and yeah, just a very good looking knife. I'm happy with it, glad I purchased it. We'll definitely keep it. So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. My Instagram's linked down below. Give me a like and a comment, and see you in the next one.